Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Atomic Drop Podcast. We got the showstopper, Cowboy Dave Yarnell, and myself, the Bat Fry, Kenny Fry. Not going to really come in too hot today. We're coming off the somber week of professional wrestling, but we'll talk about Terry Funk, Bray Wyatt, the SmackDown tribute show, and we'll hit a little bit of Raw. We'll hit the key points of Raw and stuff like that. But we'll keep this to an abbreviated show. And keep it a little bit more low-key than we usually do. And then, of course, next week we'll bring the fire again, talking about Payback. So what's up, Cowboy Dave?
Not much, big man. How you been?
I'm all right. I worked this is my work weekend. That's why we're on tonight at 7 p.m. I slept all day, which felt great because it's been a while since I got more than 3 hours of sleep. And so this was really nice, but I'm a little bit out of sorts now. I'm kind of like in a fog. You know what I mean? Like if you sleep too much, you're in a fog. Your head's kind of daisy and stuff like that. So I'm a little bit.
I know that story too well. A
little bit discombobulated right now, but I'll power through. Usually I am discombobulated, so it's not gonna be a difference or nothing like that. It's just gonna be a little bit foggier, I guess. We got one comment coming in here real quick before we get started. Of course, we all know it is our number one fan, Adam Glenn. What's up, Adam?
What's up, Adam? Thanks for checking in, bud. We appreciate it.
So, Adam, real quick here before we get into the show, Adam, were you a fan of Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk? If you were, do you have any memories or any of your favorite matches or anything like that you want to share with Out of the Box Sports?
We would love to hear it.
That'd be awesome. And one more, we got Maiko, Paul Spencer checking in. Saying 3 hours of sleep. You're turning into me? You get less than 3 hours. He's like 3 minutes of sleep. He's like I don't know. I like a bat or something. I don't know. He's Paul gets very little sleep. So Adam was not much of a fan of Bray or Terry Funk apparently.
I think one of those things with Bray, you either liked him or you didn't. I don't think there's no in between with Bray Wyatt. To be honest with you.
The thing with Bray was like you had to give him so much credit for such a creative mind, especially in today's wrestling where so much of it is created by the creative team. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But you could tell what Bray had input into, and of course he had to give some to the creative team. You have to take some from the creative team. Mm-hmm. So, but I'd say a lot of that is credited to Bray Wyatt. Eileen, what's up, Eileen? How you doing?
Hey, Eileen, how are you, girl? What's happening?
She says the muscle man can dance. Or the muscle man dance. Muscle man
dance. Yeah, sometimes you have to.
Her two favorite people right here. There it is. The show
we're here, baby. We're here.
Eileen, I asked Adam the same question. So if you were a fan of Bray Wyatt or Terry Funk, do you have any memories or whatever that you wanted to share or throw it out there like favorite moments or anything, it's something that you really liked about the characters or whatever. We have Maiko Spencer checking in. One of my favorites were Bray Wyatt, so creative from the Wyatt family to the Fiend on the Fireflies from the Firefly Squad. Absolutely.
Yeah. Bray was very creative. His mind for wrestling was so interesting. It really was. One of my favorites is when he did the Firefly Funhouse, and he had Alexa Bliss in there, and when he brought her in there, it just really really started to grow.
I'll tell you, you never seen that mashup coming. Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt. I wasn't huge into wrestling when the Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt connection happened with the Firefly Funhouse and the Fiend and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But it was something you'd never seen happen. But when it happened, it worked so well. She was so good with Bray. Bray was so good with her. It was a match made in heaven. If you could go back in time to restart the Wyatt family, you would have Harper, Rowan, and Bliss. I just would have loved to see Alexa start with the Wyatt family and stuff like that. And then Braun Strowman came later on. But that whole group, would have been something else. That would have been something neat to see.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, it was it just kept growing week to week, and and then he was doing all kinds of the puppets and everything. And then John Cena is still stuck in the funhouse to this day. But yeah, it was really good, and it's just a shame that gone too soon, man. Gone way too soon.
Yeah.
And
One of his last big matches was against LA Knight in the Mountain Dew dark match or whatever, what that was called. Mountain Dew.
The Mountain Dew, the Mountain Dew match or whatever. Yeah.
Pitch black match. Yeah. So
right,
I mean that was and that was so insane. It was so creative because they went dark and they actually had like the neon colors or whatever, like the glow or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool. I remember I didn't see that live, but I was actually watching it the other day. Again because I was in and out of wrestling, and that's the time that I was out of wrestling, and just going back and watching that match. It was really rad to see. You'd never seen anything like that before. It's pretty cool.
I mean, Bray being a third what's the word I'm looking for? Generation, thank you. Yep. Third generation superstar. It's amazing because where he first started as Husky Harris, back in the way, but then he was NXT with our Nexus with Husky Harris, remember? And I enjoyed him there. I really did. I was a fan of Husky Harris, and not many people were. I liked what he was doing there, and then when he started to grow, and then doing the Wyatt family, and then the whole Funhouse thing with the Fiend and all that fun stuff. But I mean, I wasn't really. I'm going to say honestly, I wasn't a really Bray Wyatt fan, but I liked what he did when he was Husky Harris. That's when I really started to like him, really got into him. But but losing somebody that early and so young, it's just sad. It's very sad.
Yeah, I agree. So back to Husky Harris. I remember when that whole NXT thing came up. Because I liked Wade Barrett. I was a big Wade Barrett fan, Daniel Bryan and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And Husky Harris, for whatever reason, really caught my eye. And I enjoyed it. He wasn't on a whole lot with Nexus, but he was on a bit. And he wasn't one of those guys to really stand out like Daniel Bryan, like Wade Barrett. There was somebody, a couple other guys that kind of stood out with the Nexus that kind of took off a little bit, But then when Husky Harris returned as Bray Wyatt, I had no idea that it was the same person. It was a total transformation, with the beard and the hair. Because if you remember Husky Harris, he had no facial hair, the short hair, so it was kind of, he wore the black trunks. I think it said Husky on the back or something like that at first. Then I think he went to a Husky style trunks, or his boots had Huskies on, something like that. But yeah, it was a total a generic gimmick type of thing. And then to come back with Bray Wyatt was a total 180, man. It was such a flip, and it's such a creative flip. Mm-hmm. And so me growing up, I was an Undertaker fan, so I really liked the dark, creepy kind of spooky type stuff, and Undertaker, Papa Shango, Kane, the boogeyman to a point, Kamala, which doesn't kind of quite fall in, but like a mysterious type character. And then you go to Bray Wyatt, is kind of pulled a little bit from each of those guys, and it was pretty cool to see. I really dug Bray Wyatt from the first moment, and like Paul Spencer says, the creepiest thing I ever seen was when Bray would turn upside down and crab walk backwards. So, for a man that size to do that was really, really impressive.
I was just about to say the same thing. For a man that size who could do a bridge backwards and walk across the ring is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
And it's not like he did it in the beginning of the match. Usually, near the end of the match or whatever. Mm-hmm. So you figured, you're starting to get spent physically and stuff like that, and be able to still kind of do that bridge back. Just looking at the beard is, kind of flopped up a little bit. The hair's drooped down. It was like the first time I seen that was so cool.
Well, when he left the Nexus and started to form the Wyatt family, that to me was kind of cool, with the rocking chair and the promos in the woods and all that other fun stuff that he did. Yeah. He had people freaking out. It was like, what is this guy up to? And it got better, and people were really into it. And it's just, the Wyatt family was fun. I have to be, I mean, with Rowan and, and his boy that passed away, it was just like, and then actually Randy Orton was a part of it too at one point, if you remember.
Yep.
So it grew. And then the match that he had with Orton in the house, I forget what that match was off the top of my head.
It was like wasn't it at a farm? No, it wasn't at a farmhouse, was it? It was at I think I'm thinking Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. I think that was at like a barn or something like that at
right.
Matt Hardy's house, or I don't know. But I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it.
And watching Randy blow up the house. I mean, sat there, and Bray. We thought Bray.
He he had his pose in the yard. Randy Orton had his pose.
I mean, to me, that's just creativity of Bray Wyatt. That just says Bray Wyatt all day long, and that's how good he was. And he was just very creative dude,
Yeah. Well, and that match with John Cena, that it was like a cinematic match or whatever it was called. It was just shot differently because it happened during COVID, so like there's nobody in audience, so you have to do something a little bit different to keep everything fresh, to keep everything, interesting.
Sure.
And for what he did with John Cena, the Funhouse match was more like cinematic. It was almost like a movie. It was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, and Bray just kept it going, and then he just made it more fun every week, and especially with the Firefly Funhouse when he brought that in, that was hysterical.
It was like Pee Wee, Pee Wee Herman gone dark.
Playhouse. Yeah, really, right. It
was really odd to see, and some people hated it and some people really liked it. I thought it was neat because it was another reinvention of the character Bray Wyatt, and it's like if you're the same like the Undertaker. If you're the same character for too long, it goes stale. So you have to kind of reinvent yourself over and over and over again.
Yep. Taker did the biker thing, and and then he went back to his normal being Taker again. And I mean, I get it. And actually, I would love to know. I don't know if they've said this or not, but I would love to know what Taker said to him that night on that Monday Night Raw, when they were together in the ring, and Taker said something in his ear, and he, and Bray said, I can't tell you what it was, but it must have been something special. It really was.
And that's the thing. I did think about this, because I had gone through the clips and videos. We're going to show our video here in a second. But what Undertaker said to him in the ring as he was leaving, kind of whispered to him, and like you said, Bray said he wouldn't. He said he can't tell. And that's something we'll never know. And I don't think we should know, actually, to be honest with you, because there's only two people in the world, probably, unless they told, family members, there's only two people in the world that know what the Undertaker whispered into Bray's ear. That's the Undertaker and Bray Wyatt.
Right.
And I think that's how it should stay now. I think with the Undertaker, if I'm advising the Undertaker, I'm like, you know what? Like, let's just keep that a secret. Let's just keep that between you and Bray, something that will forever be in the annals of history as to what was said, as a special moment, as the passing of the torch, which unfortunately burned out way too quick.
And I was lucky enough to be there. I actually saw that when that happened.
Oh, wow.
That was the night. Yeah, that was a big Monday Night Raw. Everybody, even Hogan was there. It was a big night for Monday. I think it was Raw 25, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it 25 or 30? But yeah, it was an anniversary show.
20th anniversary show. Yeah. And I remember him just like in the middle of the ring, and they shook hands, and he went into his ear, and he said, and everybody's like, "What did he say? What did he say?" So we'll never know, but it must have been something special, because I know Taker respected him no other. Yeah. He loved Bray.
To be kind of silly with this, but I know when I was a kid, when we used to whisper secrets into each other's ears, we'd go, pss, 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 pss. I don't think that's what the Undertaker said, but I think that'd be a little bit funny if it was. That is what he said. But I don't think that's what he said, because you can't even read his lips, because he does it so
right.
So like his mouth barely moved, but you can see it moving. So he is saying something, but it wasn't. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show our video real quick that Paul Spencer put together for us in memory of Bray Wyatt. Should I show the Terry Funk one right away as well, or should we wait a little bit?
We can sure, go ahead. It's fine.
All right, we'll do them both. We'll do the Terry Funk and the Bray Wyatt clips right away, and then we'll go from there. We'll do Terry Funk first, then Bray Wyatt. All right?
Yep.
Funk. Now, all right, there we go. Now,
you're good.
I lag a little bit, so bear with
no,
me.
You're good. You're good.
Now we'll do the Bray Wyatt video.
Very sad. Very sad. Losing two superstars like that, one for in the business for over 50 some years, and Bray Wyatt as long as he's been in WWE and only 36 years old. It's just very sad to, two within a week is a lot. Well, I guess there's one a week or two, but that's still a lot of, it's very sad.
And so, like you said, the hardest part for me was, losing Terry Funk, 79 years old. Like I said, he's been sick for a little bit. I would hear updates on Busted Open Radio on Sirius XM from Tommy Dreamer about Terry Funk, and occasionally Mick Foley would post something on the Twitter box or on somewhere on social media. I would see about Terry Funk, Mick talking to his daughters, and Terry's doing okay. He's in a hospital, this, that, and the other. But Terry Funk leading a full life, 50 years in the wrestling business and stuff like that. But the hardest part is Bray Wyatt. Really got me. I'm an emotional guy, Dave. I don't know if you know this, but I do tear up a lot. Especially when it comes to kids. Like one of the first times I did the read for Monkey Cold Coffee, talking about the National Cancer Pediatric and Foundation, like their work with them and donations that they do. I cracked up a little bit. I cried on the show. Right. I think it was the Batcave. So that stuff always gets me. So when I was watching the SmackDown, when they did the Bray Wyatt thing, like it's emotional when you hear the 10 bell salute. That's absolutely that gets you right away. But when they showed pictures of him with his daughters, it's getting me now. God damn it! So when it showed him pictures with his daughters, it takes me to my kids right away. It makes me think, you have kids. A lot of people that watch the show, they have kids. But it gets me right away. It chokes me up right away. It gets the eyes teary and stuff like that. Knowing that those kids aren't going to have their father,
I understand completely.
I mean, that's
I totally get it. And now he's up there with his boy Luke Harper. There's two together, and they're probably telling stories up there. I'm sure they are.
And that was the hardest thing for me with Luke Harper, also known as his real name Brody Lee. He passed away, I think, at 41. And he also had a young family. Like one of his things that he was most proud of is that he was able to wrestle. I think he has a boy being able to wrestle in front of his son and stuff like that, and doesn't have that. You know what I mean? Like his boy doesn't have that. His Bray's daughters don't have their daddy at home, or even get he'll never see them get married. They'll never have their dad. That stuff like that kills me, man. It's tough, and
yeah,
it also
totally
makes you think about your own mortality. It makes you think about yourself, as selfish as that may sound, but it makes you think, about your kids not having you around or stuff like that. It's really hard. It's really hard for me to deal with. And the older
myself
you get,
too.
The older you get, the more it becomes like a realization, though. You know what I mean?
You're not kidding. You're not kidding. It's just a shame that it's so young. So creative, such a great talent. You just hate to see, and Terry Funk, same situation. I mean, as long as he was in the business, he was one of the best, and people respect him. And I was not very. I'll be honest, I was not very big Terry Funk guy, but the movies he did, I liked. I liked when he did Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze, and he actually did Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone too. And those two movies that's why I really respected Funk for doing those two movies. I mean, his wrestling career, to me, I didn't really follow Terry very much, but here and there, I know with Jimmy Hart, the Funk family, all that fun stuff. But him as a tag team, and him and Mick had great memories together. I know that for sure. So to lose Terry Funk too, just the wrestling business is tough sometimes, and they've lost a lot of people over the past. So if you were a Funk fan and you were a Bray fan, hang in there is all I can say.
Yeah, if you were a Bray Wyatt fan or Terry Funk fan, hit that like button, send us some hearts and stuff like that. Send us memories, please comment, let us know, what your thoughts are. Your moments that you remember and stuff like that. I know you're out there, people. I know you're out there watching.
If you're watching,
I know you're fans. Hit that heart button, like and stuff like that, and let us know what your thoughts. I think it says Bray Wyatt's loss made me sad, feel bad for Josie. Or JoJo and her 2 kids, plus other 2 from a previous marriage. So yeah, it's
right.
I think what wasn't his wife was JoJo in wrestling for a little bit.
I believe she was.
I recognized her a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I believe she was.
Eileen, since it's believed that Bo Dallas was Uncle Howdy, should he come back and continue his brother's legacy and come back as Uncle Howdy? That's a great question.
I think he should come back as Bo Dallas. Honestly, that's just me. It was a great character. Bo leave,
Yeah,
so
I used to get kicked out of Bo leave.
You got a Bo leave, So I think being that, that would be like, something Bray would want him to do. I think that's just.
I do think Bo should come back. I don't think he should come back as Bo Dallas, because there was so much comedic. Influence into his character. I think if Bo Dallas comes back, I'd want him to be a little bit more serious. So you'd have to remove that Bo Dallas tag from him. But the Uncle Howdy part, I don't know. There was rumors that Uncle Howdy was going to be at SmackDown. Bo Dallas was going to be at SmackDown, and he was going to reveal himself as to being Bo Dallas. Uncle Howdy was going to remove his mask.
I didn't hear that, but okay.
I read that online a little bit. I thought that would have been really cool. I know I was at work when I went to break. I was scouring the interwebs to see if that actually happened or not, and it did not. So it was a bummer, but it does leave it open for Bo to come back as Uncle Howdy. But I'm not sure if they'll continue that storyline unless they get the blessing from Bray's family and stuff like that, from his dad Mike Rotunda, who was formerly IRS in wrestling. If you remember IRS, Erwin R. Shyster.
I remember Rotunda when he teamed with Spivey. They were the good tag team. I forget what the team was called, but there's 2 of there was like a USA thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But him and Spivey were a really good tag team. And then the IRS thing with the $1 Million Man. He was in the the $1 Million company or whatever, foundation, whatever it was.
That's what I was talking to my dad about it, because I was trying to explain my dad. My dad knows who Bray Wyatt is. My dad watches wrestling every week, and I said his dad is Mike Rotunda, and my dad's like, who? And I said IRS. And he's like, who? I'm like trying to explain to him. Said he was tagging with $1 Million Man for a little bit there. I said, IRS. And he's like, he couldn't remember. I said, I'll show you a picture. He'll remember. So Paul says, wow, I didn't know that was Funk and Over the Top.
Yeah, that was him. Yep.
If I had my man card's currently in my wife's purse right now. So if I had my man card, I'd have to hand it over. I've never seen Over the Top. I've never seen.
Great. I've seen that movie so many times. I love it.
And what was the other one, Over the Top, and Roadhouse?
Roadhouse, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I was a little kid, my dad watched those movies, and I did see them then, but I don't remember. So I can't really say I saw those movies because I don't remember them.
Well, Over the Top was an arm wrestling movie with Stallone, if you remember correct.
I remember it being an arm wrestling movie and something about truckers, and Roadhouse something about a bar, but I don't.
He was a trucker, and Stallone went to go pick up his kid because his wife wanted him and his son Michael to get to know each other. They didn't really know each other. Yeah. So he picks him up at the naval base and goes to, and gets to spend time with him. And by the time they go back to see his mother, she passes away. But he didn't really get a chance to see her because, but his grandfather wanted to take custody of Michael, but the mom didn't want that to happen. She wanted him to go with his dad. Pretty much a story.
And apparently they're the man movies. So one day I'll have to check them out.
Mm-hmm.
Eileen says, thinking back now, it kind of annoys me a bit that we lost some of the time we had left watching him grow in WWE because he was released.
Yes. So, well, Vince released him, if you remember. Yeah, Vince because Vince was making cuts, and Bray just happened to be in that cut line, which was really a bad move from him. But thank God for Triple H, he brought him back because Triple H was the one who wanted Bray back, and thank God Bray did come back when he did. You know,
you can, for today's WWE landscape, you can say thank God for Triple H for a lot of things because Triple H is in touch with the fans. One, I believe, and he does do what's best for business. And Vince is out of touch a little bit. Robbie McGrath, Robbie, of course, I know who you are. Robbie McGrath, the brother of one of the girls from the Not Your Average Janes, Sarah. Robbie does our Game Changer app and stuff like that. And Robbie's a great dude. Love Robbie.
Robbie, thanks for checking in. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Lots of fun and a funny little dude. Robbie is. Adam says Ray was 36.
Bray was 36. Yes, Bray was 36.
Yeah,
yes,
and actually, when I seen his age, I was a little bit surprised about that. I didn't realize he was that young, and that made it, like I said, even harder knowing that he was that young and stuff like that. Yeah, it's very sad to see those two people die. And like we said, with Terry Funk, 79, there's an inevitable realization that someday this will come to an end. Someday this will be finalized. Your life, your being. But
I remember Terry Funk more with Jimmy Hart than I do, and ECW. When was it Gordy Funk? Is that right? Dory Funk. I'm sorry, yeah. Dory. My fault. But I remember Jimmy Hart being the manager of the Funk family, and that was fun to watch. It was good. It was good wrestling, and Terry was just amazing at the things he could do. But when he went to ECW and then he had his feuds, he was definitely a hardcore dude.
And Terry Funk had some great feuds over the years. Like I don't remember Terry Funk as a kid much. I do remember him a little bit in WWF, like you said, with Jimmy Hart and stuff like that. But and Dory, the Funks and stuff. But I don't remember him a whole lot from there. But his name started popping up more as I got older with ECW and hardcore and extreme wrestling and stuff. His matches with Mick Foley and stuff, and Japanese death matches or whatever the hell they are. Like you see
him and Mick tore the house down, man. Those two tore the house down, and especially in ECW. Wow.
They did everything to each other. It was absolutely nuts. The barbed wire, staples, tacks, fire, bats. I mean, it's absolutely like nuts. Like what they would do to get a crowd reaction, to get people invested into their feud, into their match, and it shows you the level of willingness as to what they'll go through to entertain people, to entertain us. I mean, that's what professional wrestlers do. They're out there to entertain us.
That's their job. Yes, Adam, it's Money Incorporated. You're right. My fault. It didn't hit me.
One of the best songs ever. I cry when I hear that. I shouldn't have said that, but Kenny Loggins, Meet Me Halfway. Yeah,
it's a big song by Kenny Loggins in Over the Top. Yes, big song.
Kenny Loggins. It's not a wrestling show until you get Kenny Loggins in there. Adam Glenn says, WWE, get the F out. Yeah.
I'll get the funk out? Okay. Whatever.
Well, WWE, when they went from WWF to WWE, the big slogan was "Get the F out."
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, I guess it was around that time.
I got you.
So yeah, so that's what I got on those guys. And WWE also lost another Hall of Famer this past week, Bob Barker. I believe he's in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yes, Bob Barker. Yeah, come on down. The price is right.
So it was a tough week in wrestling land.
They say things happen in three, so Bob Barker must have been a third.
Obviously Bob Barker's not remembered for his WWE career or appearances, but I just had to throw that out there that I do believe he's a Hall of Famer. He has been on WWE programming a couple times as a special guest host, which I thought he was hilarious as. I can't remember who he had a back and forth with on the one episode of Raw when they used to have the celebrity guest host on Raw. Remember that?
Oh yeah, right.
There were some weeks where it was fantastic. Then there were some weeks where it was really, really bad. But Eileen says who it is. It was Bob Barker and Chris Jericho.
It
was so funny. I actually seen it weeks ago. I remember I was watching a clip of that again. For some reason, I thought Miz, but no, I know it's not Miz, but I feel like it's somebody like the Miz, which would be Chris Jericho.
Well,
bad Chris. Chris Jericho is a heel, so
that makes sense. Yeah, well, Bob Barker being in Happy Gilmore, great movie there with Adam Sandler. Yeah.
Well, and last night on break, I was watching the clip that Adam Sandler did with Bob Barker while Bob Barker was in the hospital for something else. It was done, I think, like a year or two ago. But they got into a fight in the hospital, and it was so funny. It was really, really funny.
He's like, "You got to get it down, Bobby." Great movie. I mean, if you're a golf fan, go watch Happy Gilmore, and you'll see Bob Barker in that movie.
That's another movie like Over the Top or Roadhouse. That every man should see is Happy Gilmore. Every fan of comedies should see Happy Gilmore. It's such a great movie.
Well, Terry Funk was great in both those movies, so it's I mean, he was a good actor. He's pretty good.
And it actually surprised me. Like I said, my dad being a huge wrestling fan, and I told him that also Terry Funk died that he didn't know. And he said, he goes, "Oh yeah," he goes, "Yeah, I remember Terry Funk, and he was also in Roadhouse." I said, "I did." I said, "I had no idea Terry Funk was in Roadhouse." He goes, "Yeah." So was he in Over the Top too? Was that I think he was, but I can't remember for sure. So
he was one of the bodyguards for Cutler guy. The guy who tried to kill Patrick Swayze. So, but anyway.
I like to end it on talking about Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk. There was a quote in The Sandlot. I put this out here in the Twitter box, I believe, before I was commenting on something. There's a quote from the movie The Sandlot where Babe Ruth was talking to Benny the Jet Rodriguez, who's easily the most overrated character in that movie. Anyway, We'll talk about that a different time. But he said, "Heroes get remembered, but legends never die." And so I think that applies to Bray and Terry Funk. Terry Funk is an absolute legend, and Bray Wyatt, for his short career in the professional wrestling business, has made himself, I think, a legend. I think the stuff that he has done in the ring, I think, will never be forgotten. It was on the level of Undertaker. It just did not have the longevity of the Undertaker due to everything that happened, and being released the one time and injuries that have gone on. So, but
Bray was good. Bray was good inside and outside the ring. So.
Oh, absolutely. His promos were.
His creativity was out of this world. I mean, nobody would have thought. Who would have thought of Firefly Funhouse and puppets and everything else he did with with the creative team with that. I'm sure a lot of it was him. I mean, this creative team was probably like, oh my gosh, where'd you come up with this stuff?
I'm sure it was like 90% Bray and 10% creative team, because I'm sure there's
stuff
that he had plugged in there like, well, we can't really say that, or we can't really do that because of this or something. But I'm sure 90% of that's Bray Wyatt.
No doubt.
All right, Dave, you want to talk a little bit of Monday Night Raw and
Let's talk some Raw. Let's talk some Raw. Let's talk
about a little bit of wrestling. Monday Night Raw happened before all these unfortunate passings happened, so it's just a normal show. Raw was, and so Raw kicked off with Sami Zayn in the ring, right? Raw feels like a month ago, but
Sami Zayn was in the ring. Yep, and then Judgment Day came out, and they went to double team him, and he was in the middle of the ring. He goes, "You think I come by myself?" And then all of a sudden, here he comes. Mr. KO himself, and that was great.
Were you surprised
KO coming off the injury? So what's that?
Were you surprised by his return?
Yes and no. Yeah, I was, to be honest with you. But it was only a matter of time, because I think I've seen off-camera stuff that KO was actually doing before. Like, they were saying that he was injured. Maybe a week prior, he was doing Dark coming out after the Raw was off the air, and finally, it was only a matter of time before he showed up. But anytime I see KO and Sammy, I'm a happy camper. I gotta
be. They work well together. I was a little bit surprised. Like you said, not overly surprised. You knew sooner or later he was coming back, and he was doing some dark stuff. But I thought they would have waited till Payback. But it was good to see him. It was good to see him come out there, help Sammy get out of a little bit of a pickle with Judgment Day. Which includes Judgment Day is 2.5 men and a lady. So
yeah, exactly. And don't forget about the other guy. He's part of it too.
He's the half, 2.5.
Yeah, right.
Dom's the half a man. Well, who knows what JD McDonough is? But anyway, we'll get that out a little bit later.
JD McDonough. Yep.
So later on, you had Sammy and KO. in a tag match against they said pick your two Judgment Day opponents, and eventually it came out to Damian, and then Rhea sent Finn out there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Rhea is the leader of this faction.
Well, Rhea yelled at them both backstage, if you remember correctly. He was like, "It stops now. You two got to cut it out." So it was a very good match. The ending was very good.
It was a really good match. So that part of the match, Sammy and KO end up winning after a DQ. Mm-hmm. Dirty Dom gets involved and stuff like that. So it goes to a DQ. They're getting their asses stomped, and Cody comes down to save the day. So now it's restarted with the 6-man tag match.
That was great. You kind of saw that coming with Cody. I thought it was Cody in there. Did you really think? I mean, literally, Raw had still 10 minutes left of the show, 10 or 15 minutes. So you knew Cody coming down there. They were going to do 3-on-3 and 6-man tag. So,
well, which is great. I love it when they do stuff like that. It
keeps the crowd into it too. Yeah, you think Cody's saying, Raw doesn't end like this. We're not going to end Raw like this. So, classic.
Yeah, absolutely classic. Absolutely classic. We've seen it before, but every time they do it, I think it's pretty cool. They don't do it that often. So I think that's what keeps it fresh. That keeps it pretty cool.
But keeps the crowd into it too. Crowd was into it. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. So Sammy, KO, and Cody end up winning that match in the end. How did that finish? I don't remember how it finished.
I believe I want to say Cody Cutter. No. I'm sorry. Crossroads. Crossroads.
Yep, you're right. Yeah, Crossroads.
Mm-hmm. Crossroads. I think it was. I want to say it was on Finn. If I'm not mistaken.
I do believe you're right. I don't have it written down. I don't remember the end. Like I said, Raw feels like a month ago. To be honest with you, I wrote notes down, but I didn't. But I think you're right. I feel like I remember Cody hitting the Crossroads.
And the game was, and pretty much that was a 3 count right there.
Yeah, I think you're right. It seems like Finn's been losing a lot lately.
Yeah. This is true.
Adam Glenn says next week's show will be Ken and Mr. Fuji. Ken and me. Well, I think he means Mr. Fuji. Dave will be in the closet. Payback.
Actually, I will see Mr. Fuji this weekend, so we'll see what happens with that.
Speak of the devil, and he shall rise. Mr. Fuji 2.0 says R.I.P. Funk and Wyatt. Dave, I will see you Friday. Are we still on a peace treaty? So.
Mr. Fuji.
I know Liv Morgan hopes that you guys are still not on a peace treaty, but
I know somebody who wants to see Liv Morgan very badly next weekend. So this weekend coming up. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we also had Chad Gable versus Gunther in the IC title match.
Yes, great.
I'll tell you what, man. Did you see it going that way?
I did. I didn't see Chad winning it, to be honest with you. I didn't see him winning on a count out. I thought Gunther would just win it hands out, but I give Gable credit, man. Gable gave him the fight of his life.
He took a beating in the beginning. I'll tell you, the first, half to 3/4 of that match, he was taking a beating from Gunther. Gunther was smacking the shit out of him.
Could you imagine taking a chop from Gunther? Oh my Lord!
I can't even imagine taking a chop from the weakest person on the roster.
Let alone.
There's a technique that goes to that it sounds like it's really, really painful.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the chops that Gunther has delivered, specifically to Chad Gable during that IC match, his chest was bright red, and
what impressed me by that match was when actually Chad Gable picked him up and threw him over that guardrail. I was like, hold my! I mean, that's a big man. I mean, he threw him right over the top to win the match and then get in the ring and get the 10 off the 10 of the count out. I was okay with that, but Chad really gave him a war, and I can Chad Gable win the IC belt? Yeah, he can, but it's Gunther is not. He's a big man. He really is a big man.
He is a big dude. And so if you didn't see it, so what happens? We'll fast forward. Gunther owned Chad Gable for the better part of the match. Chad Gable's did the hero thing. He started fighting back. The crowd started really getting behind him. A couple of great German suplexes in the ring. Then out of the ring, like Cowboy Dave was saying, he was able to German suplex him over the wall into the bell timekeeper area, whatever you want to call it. And he was able to get back in the ring before the 10 count. So that is the first match that Gunther has lost since coming on as a singles wrestler since coming on the main roster.
Which tells me that I think Chad Gable deserves another rematch with him.
And I believe there is going to be a rematch.
And if anything, it should be a payback. I have payback, absolutely.
I think it will be, and I'm willing to bet. I would put $5 on it, not much more than that. I would put $5 on it and say that Chad Gable will beat Gunther in the ring. 1, 2, 3.
I think that would be great, and the crowd would love that. I mean,
the place would erupt
because Gunther has bigger plans. I mean, he could go after Roman. He could do, I mean, the IC belt. He's had it for so long. I mean, when he first won that belt, I didn't think he'd have it this long. I really didn't. Yeah, I don't think anybody thought he'd be this long of a reigning champion.
And so I brought this up before. This reminds me. This is what WWE wanted Cesaro to be in. To be. The WWE wanted Cesaro to be what Gunther is today. But for whatever reason, they felt like Cesaro did not have what Gunther has. For whatever reason. I don't know what the reasoning is. But I loved Cesaro when he was in WWE. Now he's Castelloni or something like that in AEW. This is what Cesaro was supposed to be. And Gunther's been absolutely dominant. He's been amazing. And it's been really impressive. His run. Cesaro was great too. Don't get me wrong. I was a big Cesaro fan, and his dedication to WWE was amazing. I mean, even if he won or lost, he didn't care. He was there week after week after week. And I like guys like that. I really do. The guys with their dedication and loved the business. Win or lose, he didn't care. Being a champion, he wasn't. It was just being there. And just being a part of the team. And that's why I like Cesaro so much. Yeah.
When he left, I was a little upset because I really liked the spin and the picking the guy up and swinging him around 500 times, whatever it was, and he was a big man. Cesaro was a strong dude, no doubt about it.
Crazy strong. Some of the feats of strength that he showed throughout his time in WWE were absolutely amazing. He's so strong. But that's what I think about that. And I agree with you, Dave, about Cesaro, or not Cesaro, but Gunther. There are bigger things on the horizon for Gunther, and I think it is time for him to drop the belt to somebody. And what better person than Chad Gable? And that leads me to I think leading closer to Royal Rumble, because Survivor Series, I can see traditional Survivor Series matches where it'd be like Imperium plus one or two other guys against Chad Gable's faction. What is that? The Alpha Academy. People. And doing the traditional Survivor Series match. The same thing with Judgment Day versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and Cody, and then add a couple people. You can see some traditional Survivor Series matches being built already. But I do think it's time, and I think it's time to see if Gunther has what it takes to step up to be the top guy. You know what I mean?
I totally agree, and he could actually give Roman a fight, and really give Roman a run for his money if they go that direction with Gunther.
Yeah.
And I think they should. If he were to drop the belt to Gable, that's fine. I have no problem with that, and that would give Gable would have some good matches to defend that title too. Yeah. So and Gunther, man, he's on a roll right now. The sky's the limit for him. I mean, seriously, if you think about it. So.
Another match, or it wasn't a match. It was more of a talking points. Nakamura. They asked Nakamura what he said to Rollins, and basically, the shortened version of it was he's basically said, "I know Rollins is hurt. I know Rollins' body's beat up." So. And basically that, and then they talked to Rollins about it, and he basically admitted he said he had 2 fractured vertebrae in his lumbar area or whatever, and he said he is hurt, and he said it's been like that for 4 years. I mean, I don't see how that could be going on for 4 years. But if this is factual, if this is not a work, or if this is an actual shoot, if you're up with the wrestling lingo, shoot means true, work means false. But if this is actual shoot, then that's impressive to go 4 years with a couple fractured vertebrae in your back and to still compete at the level that he competes at, doing some of the stuff that he does is crazy impressive. But sooner or later, that has to get fixed. Sooner or later, you can say, you know what, I need to get this done. I need to tap out here. And so it makes you wonder. I don't think he's going to drop the title to Nakamura.
I don't either.
But I mean that would lead to a perfect time for Rollins to step out, get whatever he has to get done to his back, and maybe make it back for WrestleMania. It would be really, really close and tight, but I don't know what the recovery window is from back surgery. I assume it's a long time.
Sure, I agree. I totally agree. But I like where they're going the storyline with Nakamura. I mean, go back a few weeks ago. Seth says, "I trust you. You're the man. I've known you for years." And then Nakamura turns on him after the match. Nobody saw that coming. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see Nakamura doing that. But you can put Nakamura anywhere, and I've said this in the past. He's good anywhere, good, bad. It doesn't matter because he's just that good of a wrestler. He can deal with anything. But I like it. I like it a lot. But I don't see Seth dropping the title of Nakamura. I just don't see that happen. Not a Payback anyway.
No, yeah, and I agree. But I think he's going to get put through the ringer. I think Nakamura's going to do some crazy shit to him and really stretch him out. And so you're going to see Seth come back after a Payback, being even more hurt. And I think I could even see him relinquishing the title, saying I'm too hurt, I can't do it anymore. And then maybe I always love the tournaments. Going to a title tournament.
I'm a fan of theirs too. I am.
So I think that'd be pretty cool. And that's how you could almost see Gunther winning a title.
Great point. So that's a great point. Yeah, I can see that. They do a tournament. Gunther drops the title to Gable, and there you go. And there's Gunther's shot.
Yeah. Paul Spencer says, I watched some of the AEW today. Cesaro did that swinging move over 20 straight swings to the guy, and then he slammed him. Cesaro's a strong dude.
Well, he's been doing that forever. Yeah. That's his MO. That's what he does best. Picks the guy up, swings him around.
Doing it to the Great Khali and to the Big Show is absolutely insane. Insane to see him swing a 7'6" monster and swing him around by his ankles are nuts.
Yeah, I miss Cesaro. I do. I really miss his dedication to WWE. That's what I miss the most, because that's what he was. He was just that guy. He would just go Monday night. Didn't matter what day it was. He'd be there.
Adam Glenn says, I bet you $20 Gunther wins. Drew will beat Gunther for the title. I'm not betting anything, Adam.
Drew will beat Gunther for the title?
He's saying that eventually Drew will beat Gunther for the title. IC title. I don't see that happening either. I think Drew's on to the tag teaming thing with
him and Riddle are doing their thing, right?
With the Bootless Wonder, yeah. Mr. Fuji said he is rooting for his friend Nakamura. Mr. Fuji and Nakamura go way back to Japan.
I'm sure those two go. Yeah, I'm sure they do. That wouldn't surprise me.
Back to New Japan Pro Wrestling back in Nakamura's early days and stuff like that. And so Mr. Fuji's been riding the coattails, as it were, of Nakamura for a while.
Yeah, I can see it now. We'll be at Payback. He'll be on the Nakamura train. I'm like, no.
Great point, Adam. Actually, this is really, really good point. I didn't even think of it. He can see Damian cashing in on Seth
at Payback. Maybe.
You know what? Now that Adam's saying that, because I just said Nakamura's going to go out there and beat the shit out of him, but he's still going to lose. He's going to stretch him out. And I didn't think about Damian Priest cashing in. You know what? You could see Seth Rollins out there, struggling to get up because his back is so bad. I think it's setting up perfect for that, Adam. I love the way you're thinking, man.
It's not that I didn't think about it, and you're right, Adam. That's a very big possibility, and it could happen. But I'm not seeing that happening at Payback. It could be somewhere down the line.
I think that's a perfect time. A smaller pay-per-view. You're not expecting it. Oh man, Dave, how awesome would that be to be in the crowd for a cash?
That place would erupt if that were to happen.
That'd be so cool. Because whenever they walk out with the briefcase, no matter where it's at, the place erupts to begin with. If you a pay-per-view, whether it's not one of the big four, but still a pay-per-view, that place would go nuts if Damian Priest came out there and cashed in.
It would shock. It would definitely shock the crowd. That's for sure,
man.
Because sometimes people forget that Damian does have that case.
I wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, hey, Adam was. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, that's a good thought by Adam.
No doubt, and it would shock a lot of people. That's for sure.
Also, Raquel Rodriguez made her appearance and challenged Rhea to a match at Payback.
Love it.
Rhea just defeated Candice LeRae. And then you have Raquel hobbled down in her crutch, and she threw the crutch to the side, saying she's cleared. She challenges to Payback. So
Is she really? She says she's cleared, but is she really cleared? I don't know for sure.
Well, we're gonna find out. 'Cause Rhea's gonna work that leg, but yeah.
Oh, sure she is, no doubt,
Yeah.
no doubt. What I like, I don't see that title changing hands. Rhea is on a roll right now. She's doing her thing. I'm not much of a Rhea fan, as you know. People know I'm a Charlotte person, but Rhea is she's running Judgment Day. Things are just rolling her way. Would I love to see Raquel win? Yes, but is it going to happen? I don't see it.
I love Rhea. Rhea's my tops right now. I love Rhea.
Yeah, you're a Rhea fan.
Favorite woman's wrestler right now. But I do think Raquel's going to beat Rhea for the title, but I don't think it's at Payback. I think it's somewhere a little bit further down the line. Whether it's rematches or it's just a different type of program that they work together. But I just don't see it being right now, right yet.
I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. But Rhea's on a roll. Her and Dom are doing her thing. And it's just Raquel's great. She really is, and she's fun to watch. She's definitely an opponent that Rhea, and you could have that match. They could go down the line and do this. This is just the first one. They could go next pay-per-view. Yeah.
That's why I don't think she'll drop it right away. I think it's going to be a terrific match. I do think it's going to be very, very close for Rhea to retain, and that's going to lead to that doubt in her head, and it's going to lead to more matches down the road. So.
And I love Candice LeRae. I like Candice LeRae. I really do. She's really good. She's a good wrestler. She's very good. And I love her role. She's just the purple. I like the purple hair, to be honest with you. So that's just me.
I love. I'm a big fan of the purple hair as well. So
yeah, I think it's kind of cool, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things I like about Zelina Vega. Like she had the different kind of hair too. Like hopefully it's all real. Now, every time I see a woman's wrestler, I have to question whether or not their hair is real because of
Bianca
Belair. Yeah, so upset about that. One more quick thing before we move on to SmackDown. Paul says, "Will Rousey come back?" Reason: biggest reporter in UFC says she has no contract in the next 3 to 5 months in the UFC. I don't see her back this soon.
Well, maybe she's taking time off, and that could be,
Yeah.
Doesn't she have a kid? Did she have a kid? She has a kid too, right?
Yeah. So I think her husband's name's Matt Brown or something like that.
She could be playing. She'll be doing mom 3 to 5 months before she goes back.
Yeah. So before we move on to SmackDown, is there anything else from
actually,
Raw?
there is one more thing on Raw that we did miss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hear it for Tozawa.
Yeah.
Tozawa with the win over The Miz.
So Tozawa wrestled The Miz. Everybody figures The Miz is going to win. Tozawa's a huge underdog. But you have your boy. Yeah. Hey, night.
Yeah.
Outside doing commentary.
So
he's doing his commentary, and
his music hit. It was great.
Fast forward, The Miz. I don't remember how it happened exactly, but Miz is distracted by LA Knight, gets rolled up on, and loses the match to Tozawa. So a huge win for Tozawa.
Tozawa with the win. It's here for Tozawa.
And the look on Miz's face, and LA Knight just standing there looking at him.
Classic.
It was great stuff. Really like that. Way that all went down was good. LA Knight didn't get involved, but he was involved. So
I just love when LA Knight's music hits. That place erupts. Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah, he's still super over, and hopefully they strike the iron while it's still hot with him. Hopefully they don't wait too long.
When we get to SmackDown, we'll talk a little LA Knight, and we'll get there. But congratulations to Akira Tozawa with the big win over The Miz. Great, love it.
Tozawa, LA Knight makes an appearance on Raw. There we go. The Miz is surprised.
I think we've gone over this match 1,000 times with Trish and Becky.
Yeah.
We all know. Adam, I love it. Let me talk to you. Yeah. But going back to Trish and Becky, that's going to be a cage match at Payback, so we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. I'm done talking about those two.
I know you're done with that. You're done with this.
Now, finally, on what is it, on Raw? I think we'll have Becky versus Zoe Stark on
Zoe
Raw.
Stark. Yes.
Yeah, so we'll get to see that match finally.
Mm-hmm.
And but we also had Chelsea Green and Piper Niven defend their titles for the first time, defeating
that is correct.
Katana and Kaden.
Katana, Kaden. Yep.
Yeah. And I really like those two girls. They just came up from NXT recently.
Mm-hmm.
I do like them as a tag team. I think they're gonna eventually. Very good. I do see them eventually being champions, but I think it's just gonna take a little bit longer. That's all.
I still can't get over the fact of what Piper did when she just said, "I'm your partner. We're the tag team champions." I was like, "Where did that come from? And whose idea was this?"
I seen some of their. I think it was TikTok. They had a TikTok out recently, and Chelsea Green's doing her fancy like a walk or whatever, like a TikTok trend type of thing, and Piper Niven kind of just like shoved her out of the way, and Chelsea's like went falling by and stuff like that. So it's really funny. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it works out.
Question: do we like Piper Niven or do we like the name Dewdrop better? I kind of like Piper Niven. That's just me. But
I like Piper Niven as well, but I have nothing against the name Dewdrop. I just I don't know for whatever reason it's like it never really settled with me like Dewdrop. I'm just like thinking I don't know. I'm not thinking wrestling when I think of Dewdrop. Piper Niven sounds like a good wrestling name.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, I mean that's original. That's who she originally was.
Yeah, but Dewdrop, I'm just not digging it. I didn't dig it.
I didn't mind it, but I was at the same time I was like, Piper Niven is better. I just like that. Yeah. That's her, and she's good. She's very good. She's a very, very good wrestler. She's good inside the ring. But taking that title that just threw me off. I didn't see that coming at all. But all right, let's move on.
I'm going to do a couple sponsor reads here before we move on. Get these sponsor reads out of the way. We have Monkey Cold Coffee. Go to monkeycoldcoffee.com and get yourself some of that bourbon chocolate chip infused coffee. My personal favorite, the toasted coconut rum, and now presenting new flavor, the Sumatran blend. All three are available at monkeycoldcoffee.com, including T-shirts, mugs. I have my Monkey Cold Coffee mug right now I'm drinking out of. I'll show you in a second here. They have tumblers, the cold brew setup, K-cup adapters. The rum cake is fantastic. You get all that at monkeycoldcoffee.com. And when you're at checkout, use the promo code OOTB Sports for 10% off. It's OOTB Sports for 10% off. Tell them the Atomic Drop podcast sent you. And remember, every bag of coffee sold, the owner of Monkey Cold Coffee, Matt, donates 10% of the proceeds to the Pediatric Cancer Research, National Pediatric Cancer Research. So do it for a good cause as well. We also have Big Al from J Fine Law. The number there, 1-800-HURT-123. That's 1-800-HURT-123. J Fine Law, Jason Fine. They specialize in motor vehicle accidents, slip and falls, workman's comp, and personal injury claims. I'll tell you what, talking about Terry Funk and Mick Foley, how many of those matches together? I wonder how many times they had to contact J Fine Law, said, "Hey, we were hit by a motor vehicle." I swear to God, that's what it was. Because they got messed up. I could almost hear Jim Ross saying, "It looks like a car crash out here." Call J Fine Law. But they have three office locations throughout Pennsylvania and New Jersey. The office in New Jersey is located in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 3 Greensward Lane. The phone number there is 856-209-5258. Then in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at 500 Grant Street, Suite 2900. The number there is 412-365-8151. And in the city of Brotherly Love, Philadelphia, the office is located at 1628 JFK Boulevard, Suite 2120. The phone number there is 267-888-2980. That's J Fine Law. And tell them, once again, the Atomic Drop podcast sent you. And last, but of course not least, our newest sponsor, Dugout Mugs. Of course, I've talked about Dugout Mugs in so many of my shows. I have quite a few Dugout Mugs. Great product, great gift for all occasions. Go to dugoutmugs.com. Check out all the different varieties of products they have there. Use the promo code at checkout, OOTB Sports 20 for 20% off. The promo code, one more time, is OOTB Sports 20 at dugoutmugs.com. And like I said, all the teams they have different styles, different variations. They also have personalized. You can get them personalized and stuff. They have Hall of Fame mugs. They have Skyline mugs. So just go to dugoutmugs.com. Check out the different varieties. They have a lot to choose from, a lot of cool things and styles. So check that out. And here's my dugout mug, New York, one of my dugout mugs. And of course, I got the Monkey Colt coffee mug here. And I'm not going to say what it says on the back here because I don't want to get banned.
I have to get my dugout mug. I haven't ordered mine yet, but I will.
I tell you what, Dave, you won't be sorry when you get it. That's what
I'm excited to get it. I'll order it sooner. I was thinking maybe Christmas, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah, Christmas would be a great time. Absolutely. So we'll hit a couple comments before we hit SmackDown real quick and check out of here. Eileen says, will you guys miss Lacey Evans? She left WWE. You know what? I forgot about Lacey Evans. She was kind of like what? She was like she had like a fancy pants gimmick kind of thing. Like
she was doing the Sergeant Slaughter thing type deal.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I don't remember that at all. And now, to be honest with you,
she had the USA thing going there for a while. I am a big Lacey. I like Lacey Evans. I do. I liked what they did with her, but they just had nothing for her. It was like there was just nothing for her to do.
And you know what? That happens sometimes. The roster's either overbooked or it's so top heavy that you forget about the girls in the middle or at the bottom, or the men as well. It just happens. You know what I mean?
I mean, she had some matches on SmackDown that she did, and then and she won some things, and they did that. The entrance thing with her going back and forth and stuff like that. But I liked Lacey. They actually, when she first came in, they had a big role for her. I mean, she was going for the women's title for a while, if I remember correctly. But right now, I just don't think they had anything for her to be, a part of WWE. So things happen.
And that's what I remember seeing something like I don't remember Lacey Evans as that whole Sergeant Slaughter type gimmick, but I do remember Sergeant Slaughter commenting on her gimmick, and he didn't really come on.
Well, she used the camel clutch as was her finisher.
Yeah,
and that he didn't appreciate that too much.
No, he didn't like it. For whatever reason. Like I don't understand. Like, not to get too far off track here, but a lot of wrestlers, old time wrestlers or veteran type wrestlers, they want you to ask if you could use their finisher, which like bothers me a little bit because I think the sincerest form of flattery is being copied. So like that should be like enough, saying like, oh look, they're using my move. That's pretty cool, and because people are like, oh, I remember that move. Sergeant Slaughter used to do that move, sure. Or like with KO using the center. Oh, so that's Steve Austin's move. That's cool. But no, they want to be asked first. Like that bothers me. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, are you actually the inventor of this move? Like you could probably go back to 1930 and seen that move being used.
Yeah,
then.
Right.
You might be when I made it more famous, but like really, like I don't. I guess
I
it's
agree.
a courtesy thing within the industry, but still, I don't get it. Like when they get all pissy like that and they put that out there, it kind of squishes, squashes their momentum a little bit.
I'm totally with you. I understand. I totally agree with that. I can't disagree. But wrestlers do it all the time, and unfortunately, that's the case. Sergeant Slaughter got upset that they were using the camel clutch, and that Lacey was doing that. So
Yeah, it's nonsensical. Paul says, I just seen an image of the main event of WWE Payback of 2020 was Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, The Fiend in a Universal no holds barred triple threat match. Wow, that would have been awesome to be live for that one.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Adam Glenn says Lacey Evans will go to AEW and be a star. Potentially, you never know.
I don't see that happening. AEW right now has too many girl wrestlers out there. She would be just one of the many, I think.
Yeah. So on to SmackDown, the tribute show for Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt. The first thing that struck me leading into the show, and you have all the wrestlers out there on the top of the ramp, was seeing Eric Rowan and Braun Strowman together.
I thought that was phenomenal. That's exactly. Well, Eric Rowan was very surprised that nobody saw that coming because he's not even part of WWE anymore.
No,
he's not even under contract with them at all.
No.
But for them to bring him in there was special, and I think Bray would have loved that. Bray, that's just something. I mean, he's part of the Wyatt family. So makes sense.
I thought it would have been pretty cool to see him out in the ring, like to maybe talk a little bit. But, that's a lot of pressure to put on somebody.
Well, maybe they asked him and he didn't want to do it. Who knows?
Yeah, and that very well could be it. So it was great to see him. I would have loved to have seen what's her name? Her name is I'm losing her name. She's with the Firefly Funhouse.
Alexa
Bliss. I keep
right.
I keep thinking Liv, but
Alexa. She did do a promo. She did a promo, a couple days ago or yesterday.
It would have been nice to see her actually be able to get, because she wasn't able to get there because she couldn't get flights lined up. Which is a shame, like WWE has private planes and stuff. It's too bad they couldn't.
She said she wouldn't have made it anyway. It would have been really tight for her to get there. She said that.
So that's a bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. But it was great to see the Braun Strowman and Eric Rowan together. Like you said, Eric Rowan being one of the original Wyatt family members. I just seen a promo pic of the Wyatt family. I didn't know this, but the original Wyatt family was much bigger. Like there's supposed to be Bray and Eric Rowan. But there was a couple other people. I have no idea who the hell they were.
Well, Luke Harper was original.
But I'm talking before that, like the original concept. There was a concept before it actually took place.
Okay.
It was Bray Wyatt. Eric Rowan had like a little clown mask on. It's really weird looking. They had another dude there. I didn't know who it was. Another bigger dude, almost looked like a Braun Strowman type, I believe. But it wasn't him. And then there was also a female there. I can't remember who it was, but that was like the original concept photo before they ended up going with Harper, Rowan, and Bray Wyatt, which I thought was fantastic. Those guys. I mean, I was a huge fan of Luke Harper. I loved his in-ring work and
scary dude, man. That's a scary guy. I mean, when his eyes went up, I would freak out.
He'd be in the ring and he'd go, yeah. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
Well, he was good with. He was good solo too. I mean, he
absolutely.
Him and Harper were a good tag. Don't get me wrong, they were a good tag team, very good. But when him and Rowan were a very good tag team. But when Harper was on his own, he wasn't bad.
No, very, very good wrestler. It's a shame that he left the earth way too soon as well.
Way too soon.
Because Brody Lee had a lot ahead of him yet.
He did.
So, but that was great to see. Then the 10 bell salute again is always hard. It's always kind of rough, and this one especially with it being 2, and then also being somebody so young and on the current roster kind of reminds you of the Eddie Guerrero. From what I can remember, Eddie Guerrero being the last big name on the current roster to pass away, where they had the tribute show for. I can't remember anybody in between there, but
I can't either at the top of my head, but it was even the Eddie one was huge too. So I mean, but it's great to see. I love what if somebody does pass away and they do that, I think that is so much respect. WWE's good like that. I mean, they've been they're very respectful for things like that. Yeah,
they usually are. Sometimes they pass by some people. It kind of makes you scratch your head.
Yeah, there's been few. Yeah, I agree.
Eileen says she loved seeing Eric Rowan and Braun Strowman together. Alexa Bliss couldn't be there. Yep, she had couldn't get the flights.
We couldn't get
I seen her promo and stuff like that. It was just a bummer that she couldn't get there.
And she was bummed about it too. You could just see in the promo. Oh my God, she was very upset about it.
Crazy that it's basically Eric Rowan left as the original and Braun Strowman added on. That'd be great to see them come back as get back together as a tag team, almost like a Wyatt family thing.
Is Eric Rowan a part of AEW though?
I don't think so. I thought he was independent. I remember reading he had to cancel a show somewhere. I don't want to say it was in Tennessee or Kentucky or something like that because the promoter was unprofessional or something like that. So, but I don't think he's a part of AEW. He might be. I'm not sure, but
I thought he was, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
Well, I know when Brody Lee passed away, he came on. I think was it AEW or was it ROH? And did like a little bit of a tribute thing, but he was with that company then. But for some reason, I feel like he's not with them now. But I could be wrong. I could be. I don't follow them.
I don't follow. Yeah, I mean, I think Brody Lee was with he was with AEW. I know that for sure. I don't know how long he was there, but he was there for a while.
So here's something that Eileen brings up that I heard as well, which I thought was fantastic. Which it's a shame we couldn't see, but maybe that's something that's better left not seen. That there was a rumor that Roman Reigns was there and he retired the blue belt by giving it to Bray's family.
Eileen, I did see that, Eileen. Yes, I did see him do that. I didn't see it live. I saw pictures of it. I didn't see the whole thing when it happened. But
See, I didn't even see pictures of it. I just heard
he had the Bray belt on his shoulder. And he was walking down the ramp, and then that's all I saw. But I did read that, Eileen. Yes, I did read that.
So I mean, that would have been to see live. That would have been awesome to see. The place, I think the place would have went nuts. And a ton of respect to
Roman beat Bray. That's how Roman got that title. He beat Bray for that.
And he kind of still carries it around as like a trophy. All the titles he carries around. Poor Paul Heyman has to carry those.
Paul Heyman he carries everything.
So that was a great way to start it off. Start off SmackDown. Then you had Rey Mysterio versus
it was Ray versus your boy.
The Grayson Waller. I can't stand that dude.
Yeah, you're not much of a fan of him. That's for sure.
So you had Austin Theory come down and try to interfere in the match, but then you had Santos Escobar come down and help. At least try to help out Ray. He did. Kept Austin Theory out, but I think Santos Escobar got clipped again. Got his knee buckled and stuff again. So, he's setting up something with Austin Theory. Between him, Austin Theory, and Ray, it seems like. That could end up being a three-way or something.
But in the end, Austin Theory he wants that U.S. title back the worst way. So he'll do anything to Ray whatever it takes to get that title.
Here's something that Eileen brings up that I thought as well. So Ray came down to the ring without the title around his waist. I'm thinking, where the hell's the belt at? Like, well, maybe because it's a tribute show, they're just leaving all that stuff off to the side.
Right.
But at the end of the show, Ray did have the belt. So I don't know.
It was probably in the back. It was probably in the back of the locker room, Eileen.
Maybe it was in the back. It was already down there because they were the first match of the show. Maybe it was already down there. I don't know, but I thought the same exact thing. Like, where the hell's his belt? Like, well, maybe it's under his little shirt. Then he took the shirt off. Like, no, it's not there. Like, I don't know. But yeah, so it must have been down at the timekeeper's table or something already for some reason. He's getting old, so for forgetting it does happen. So then we had LA Knight's tribute to Bray Wyatt, which is big on a couple different levels. So first off, LA Knight was basically Bray's last big match in the Mountain Dew.
The Mountain Dew
Pitch Black,
whatever. Yeah, Pitch Black match, right?
Which was really neat visually to see. And so he was pretty much Bray's last major match. And so it was big for LA Knight to talk about it. I thought he did a great job, saying basically. Go ahead.
No, he said him and Bray were down the road together, and they knew each other really well, and he has tons of stories with Bray, which is great.
Yeah. And like he said, he goes, I'm not going to tell you we were friends. He said, but he's learned a lot from Bray basically, and Bray was always giving to him, stuff like that, and
I love what he said. I love what he said to the Miz at the end of the promo. That was great.
He used one of Bray's famous lines. Do you know word for word? I know the end part is. I
don't know it word for word, but all I remember is he said, "Run."
Yeah. so the Wyatt family, Bray used to always end his promos. He'd say something, and then at the end he'd run, and then it would clip off, which is always really really cool. That made it kind of scary. And so I thought that was cool as well. But that also tells me how WWE views LA Knight as one of their top stars right now. To have him go out there and speak on the behalf of a fallen brother, a popular character, to have him go out there with an open mic and talk about that tells me that they really think highly of LA Knight, and that I would not be surprised if he gets a huge push really, really soon.
Oh, I totally agree. And LA Knight's promo was outstanding. And after that was over and he said run and then goes into the match with Finn, that was just right there.
Yeah.
And it only makes sense,
And it was a great match. Finn Balor and LA Knight, really good match.
They killed it. Those two killed it. Absolutely.
We weren't sure if there was going to be any shenanigans or anything like that, but it was great that there wasn't. I'm glad that there wasn't anything from The Miz or anything from the Judgment Day. It was just a straight up match. They did a great job, and it was done really, really well. Adam Glenn says Miz jobs to LA Knight, and then the push starts for LA. Yeah,
absolutely. And Miz LA Knight. When that happens, I cannot wait to see it because it's going to be really good. It's going to be really good.
Paul says I missed SmackDown event tribute. I had our first game of the year. Going to watch it tonight. Probably going to shed a tear or two. Yeah, congratulations, Paul, on your first win of the season.
Yeah,
first
blowout. 49-3, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was, giving up 3 points. What the hell's the matter with you guys?
Yeah.
Who's the defensive coordinator?
49-6, or it was something like that. Some blowout score.
It was a blowout, though. So, yeah, congratulations to his team. Here we go.
Way to go, coach. 42-6. I knew it was something like that. Yeah.
He got himself a bag of Captain Crunch to go with it. So congratulations. I love Captain Crunch. Peanut Butter Crunch is my favorite out of the Captain Crunch family, but all of them are just as well.
I like Captain Crunch, but I'm a Frosted Flake guy myself. So
I love Frosted Flakes too. I like cereal. Period. There's not many cereals I turn on. Like right now, I eat shredded wheat. I'm eating shredded wheat because I'm like, it's been a while since I had shredded wheat. So let's get it in me.
Frosted Flakes and Fruit Loops are my two favorite right now. So.
I let my cereal sit for a couple minutes before I start. Actually, I like it when it gets soggy.
I can't do that. I
love it. That's me though. Especially
it's like eating cornflakes. I
love it. I love it soggy. I'll put a banana up in there, and I love them soggy. The shredded wheat holds all the milk in the center, and it gets soggy on the outside. So when I bite into it, it's super soggy. And then the milk explodes in my mouth. It's awesome. It's
crazy.
It's a beautiful thing. So then Cody does a tribute for Terry Funk. He does take a walk in the past, which I thought was really, really well done. Cody's a great talker to begin with, so you knew it was going to be classy. It was going to be well done.
Another Cody promo. Oh, Joyce, we haven't seen enough of them in the past month.
Yeah, he went a little bit different. Usually comes out here and it's like, so what do you want to talk about? But he came out and said, I know what I want to talk about tonight. Goes in that direction. A little walk down memory lane. I thought was fantastic. It was very well done by Cody. Talking about his father and Terry and stuff.
Cody is so professional, and that's what I like about Cody. I mean, he can come in there and just, he's such a professional dude.
I still miss Stardust, but I like Cody. Just
Cody I'm over Stardust. I've been over that for years. Cody now, I just keep climbing that ladder, big man, because I'm telling you, WrestleMania 40, it's going to be Cody's day, and it's only a matter of time.
Yeah. So Mr. Fuji 2.0 says he likes the Bootios.
I have a picture of me in Bootios. I showed you guys that.
You did actually. Yeah, you're right. I remember that. So we had what else? We have Io Sky defending her belt against Zelina Vega.
Yes, Io.
That match was okay.
Big win. Well, didn't Zelina beat her twice, didn't she? So I think this was the third match with those two.
Yeah. Zelina beat her the last two times.
Right, last two times.
But I think what the hell was I gonna say? I got distracted for a second. Hang on.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, I think the last time was like via count, but I think it was all before Io Sky had the belt. That's right.
Okay, gotcha. No, it was good to see. It's good to see Io get a win. I like Io. I do. Yeah. She's her Damage Control, and it's good. It's good what they do there. Bailey gets on Michael Cole's nerves. I love that. Bailey's just she's amazing. She's just so good.
I love Bailey. I love Bailey when she was the happy Bailey with the little floaty thing, and hugging everybody.
Bailey buddies. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. The hugger.
Yeah. But this match was it didn't do anything for me. I do like Io Sky. I do like Zelina Vega. I think they're both.
Io Sky's fun. She's just so talented in the ring.
She's super spunky. But she's everywhere. So I like her. I like Io. I like Zelina. We also had this part. I should have did this.
Is Dakota Kai still on the shelf?
I don't remember.
Is she cleared?
I don't remember. So I seen her up on the stage. I seen her with Bailey. I don't remember seeing anything
I know she was injured for a
know.
while. That's what I'm saying, but I don't know if she's cleared or not. That's why I thought maybe you knew.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen anything online. I haven't.
I've been
I
looking.
haven't seen anything. I don't know. Yeah, like I don't know. I haven't seen anything. Like I see, she's been out there more often now recently.
Right.
Since the Io Sky won the belt.
Mm-hmm.
You
I mean, she was in the, when Io won the belt. She was in the ring with Bailey, and they were going crazy.
So you have to assume she's getting close.
That's what I'm saying. She's either getting exactly. Yeah. She could be almost ready to go. That's what I'm thinking. But I thought maybe you knew if she was cleared or not.
I have no idea. I'll give her a call later on.
You do that. You do that. Ding dong, hello.
Hey Dakota, this is Kenny here from the Atomic Drop Podcast. This is what
Are you cleared?
Me and Cowboy Dave were talking about. So the one thing that I did not enjoy about SmackDown, which was an overall very good show because it's a tribute show.
It was
always well done. But the hardcore match between the Street Profits and the Brawling Brutes was garbage. Just call it a match. You know, that what?
Yeah, it was a go to the bathroom match.
And it was such a bummer too. Like they could have did so much more with it. If you're not,
but Bobby Lashley did come out though. Bobby Lashley came out though.
Yeah, but they called it a hardcore match. You know, in honor of Terry Funk, we're gonna have a hardcore match. And then they did that. It's like that was just a match. They had one broken table that I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was it.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
I mean, like you had your typical stuff. You know, Butch trying to break or not? Yeah, Butch trying to break.
It was actually the Terry Funk hardcore match. Is what it was.
Yeah, and it was a real bummer. So if you're just call it a match and be done with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're not going to, at least have trash cans out there and some kendo sticks for. I know they're not going to bleed at all. Because there's no more. You can't blade or anything with WWE. You can't make yourself bleed. Right. And so you're not going to get the blood that you want. In a Terry Funk hardcore match, but you can still at least do some stuff. Get the cookie sheets out there. Get the trash cans, kendo sticks, chairs.
I hear you.
Or to do some crazy spots with tables, you're just not getting it. So,
but it was fight night. Fight night. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It was fight night. All right. Eileen says she can't wrestle, but she's around with them. So
okay, Eileen. Thank you. I wasn't sure what her status was.
Her own words say she is still far away from returning. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Did she, Eileen? Do you talk to her?
Eileen and Dakota Kai are friends, or they're buds. They must be.
That was not a Terry Funk hardcore match. They did one move that was to honor him, but that was it was weak. That
was pretty weak. It was pretty.
It was a bummer. Yeah, but it is what it is.
But in the end, the Profits got the win. So yeah.
So anything else you want to talk about from SmackDown? That's pretty much all I have.
I think we covered everything from SmackDown.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do the show read here real quick.
Before you do that, it was a really good show. Very good tribute to Bray and Terry.
Yeah.
And I read before the show even started that they weren't going to do anything. They were going to put things on hold for a while.
Yeah.
Because of the two passing. That's what I was reading, but obviously they didn't do that. So they said the show must go on, and that's what they did. So
and that's why I wasn't sure. Because did they do it for Eddie Guerrero where they just canceled the show?
I don't think so. No, I think they did the same. They did pretty much the same thing they did for these two.
There was somebody, I don't remember who it was, where they canceled the show. Maybe it was Chris Benoit before they knew everything that happened.
It could have been right. Yeah.
They canceled the show and they just did a live. Unless the show was recorded, I don't remember. They did a tribute show where they showed a bunch of their best matches. I wouldn't have been surprised if they would have did something like that with Bray, where they, cancel the show.
I think that's where they were going to go with it, honestly, because that's what I kept reading. Like they were going to put things on hold for a while, and until everything was cleared out. But they didn't. I was surprised. Yeah. But were you surprised too? I mean,
I was, but I wasn't. It's one of those things, like you said, the show must go on. I mean, Owen Hart died in the ring, for crying out loud, and they still finished.
Dude, don't even bring that up.
Eileen says the Chris Benoit. Okay,
Benoit.
I knew they did it. Or there's an empty ring. There's Vince McMahon talking in an empty ring, and as before they knew about all the specifics. Before they knew what happened, they had tributes. They had all the current roster and some former wrestlers talking about Chris Benoit. Paul Spencer wants to know, Dave, are you ready? Are you ready for payback? He's driving warp speed, 110 mile per hour. Hope you're ready.
I'll have a blanket on my head, and I'll be sitting in the back seat saying, "I hope I still live up going to Pittsburgh." And then when the car stops, I'm going to say, "Am I still alive?"
And Paul's going to go, "Yeah,
yeah, great."
So we got our shows coming up this week on Out of the Box Sports. Our weekly lineup of shows: Monday at 4:30 p.m. Joystick Junkies talking your gaming. 6 p.m. the Sully Squad talking Philadelphia sports. 8:30 p.m. the Big Blue Power Hour talking New York Giants football. Then Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. the Commanders Gridiron talking Washington Commanders. That's a long ass name to say. Washington Commanders.
It'll be a different name next year, so get ready for that. So
they shorten it up a little bit. 8:30 p.m. of course with Cowboy Dave and Sully. Extra innings talking Major League Baseball. Then Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. with me, the Bat Fry. What the hell is that? There was a bang. It must have been the boy.
Is Mr. Fuji in your house now?
No, it's a little bat boy, my little guy, probably slamming something against the door here. So Wednesday, 10 a.m., the Bat Cave with myself talking New York Mets baseball and what's left of it. 8 p.m., College Football Frenzy with Bill Furman and Paul Spencer. 9:30 p.m., and once again, Cowboy Dave, Paul Spencer, and Matt, the TOP, Tower of Patience, talking Cowboys football and Dem 215 boys. 9:30 p.m. Wednesday. Thursday, 7 p.m., you'll have the NFC East Roundtable with Washington Commanders, New York Giants, Dallas Cowboys, and Philadelphia Eagles fans or hosts.
Actually, I will be doing that show as well next week too.
So, you're a busy man next week.
I am a bit. This week I am. Yes, very busy.
Fuji's Philly Flair will be back in a couple weeks yet, I believe. Friday at 10:30 p.m. the Atomic Drop podcast with myself and Cowboy Dave. Next week, Cowboy Dave will be coming from a special location.
And on that show, we will actually be doing our payback predictions.
Yep. So payback predictions coming Friday. We'll have them posted before that actually, but we'll be talking all payback. Saturday, 11 a.m. Irish pregame and postgame. 10 p.m. the Vegas sports scene. That's on hold right now. I'm changing the Vegas sports scene up a little bit. We're going from the Vegas sports scene to a Raiders and LA Kings show right there. Thank you, Paul. The Las Vegas Raiders.
That guy in the corner still scares me. I have to be.
I love it. It reminds me, if you're a fan of the band Disturbed, they have their little character and stuff like that. But it almost like every time I see it, it reminds me of him. So I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, it's going to be a Las Vegas Raiders, LA Kings show because I was doing the Vegas sports thing with Vegas Rob, and he was more of the Las Vegas guy, the Vegas Golden Knights and stuff like that. And my team, the LA Kings, my favorite team. One of their chief rivals are the Las Vegas Golden Knights, so it's hard for me to talk about the Las Vegas Golden Knights in a
rivalry,
positive light. You know what I mean? It's hard to do that when I hope they lose every day.
There you go.
But it is what it is. We also have a special guest on College Football Frenzy here. Let me find that real quick here. Oh, there we go. Thank you again, Paul. Matt Groth. I think it's Grothy. Former USF quarterback from Southern Florida from 06 to 09. He'll be on the show. Yeah, I think he also played did he play for somebody else besides Southern Florida?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. College football is not one of my best things. I wouldn't know.
Well, I believe they posted his stats on our private chat, checking it out. Had a hell of a career in college football, major college football. So it's great to have a special guest on College Football Frenzy this upcoming Wednesday.
If you're a college football guy, that's for you.
Absolutely. We also have a couple other shows coming very soon. The Lights, Camera, Action, talking movies and stuff like that. The Birds Corner, which isn't what you think it is. It's Philadelphia Eagles football. It's not anything dark or
And I don't know.
I'm not going to get into it, Dave. If you don't know, I'm not going to tell you.
The Birds Corner, is that what you said?
That's what it says here on the look at the show thing down here in the bottom right hand corner. It says
Oh, I see it. Okay, I see it.
The Birds Corner. The old school show was just on. I had the 93 Phillies. Go head back and check that out.
Yes, we actually did that. We did that a few days ago. It was a really good time. Talk about the 93 Phils. And if you are into old school shows, that's definitely the show for you.
I have to go back and watch that. You guys started that a little bit late at night. I had to go to work. So
Yeah, it was. We started at 8:30. It was 8:30. I think it was Thursday night. I want to say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it was Thursday night. Yeah, it was Thursday night. It was after the NFC's table show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going against the Eagles, so it was kind of rough what we could do, but we did. It was fun. It was a good time.
Preseason, the hell with it.
Right, bringing back memories of that '93 team. That team was so good. It was.
Yeah, they were, and they were a lot of fun. So, so then real quick, the next old school show, Dallas Cowboys versus 49ers. Dallas Cowboys, not the 49ers years.
Yeah.
They had some great rivalries, especially through the 90s.
Aikman and Steve Young going at it. Yeah, good times.
Yeah. Good times. Adam says, Dave, watch your back at Paul's.
I definitely will, Adam. I definitely will.
That's where you're going to find out what Bird's Corner is. Eileen says,
okay.
There's a bat in Ken's house. And I'm worried that the boy has a bat. That's why I worry about the way it sounded against that door there is a little bit.
Yeah, that sounded pretty loud there.
Well, so my wife is at actually a Nickelback concert with my oldest daughter. I was supposed to go, but I don't have any time left to get off of work.
All right, no. We have to stop right there. Pause with that comment just says right there, Mr. Adam Glenn, there is no way in the world that Dak is losing his job to Trey Lance. And if you think that's the case, then you're done. No, that ain't happening. So we can just move on from that right there.
Well, I'll disagree with that, but all right. I'm not a Cowboy fan.
Not Dak is going to get an extension. He's not going anywhere. The job is his till he's not going to lose it. It's not going.
So you're going to tell me at week 8 or 9, the Cowboys are sitting at 4-4. Dak Prescott has.
We won't be 4-4. We'll be.
Dak Prescott. Listen,
we'll be 7-1 or 6-2. Nah.
Dak Prescott has 10 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Playing like garbage. You're telling me they don't look to Trey Lance?
It's not going to happen. He's a backup for a reason. He couldn't get past Sam Darnold. He sure as hell couldn't get past Brock Purdy. What makes you think he's going to get past Dak Prescott? That is not happening. I'm sorry. Move on.
Eileen says, you lost me on Nickelback. I'll tell you what, Eileen. I've seen Nickelback a couple times. They are very, very good live. I've
never seen Nickelback. I've watched them live on shows, but I've never seen them.
They get so much hate. I don't know if it's because they're Canadian or because their lyrics are kind of corny or something. I don't know what it is, but they put on one hell of a live show, and that's what my wife has been. It kind of distracted me a couple times. The wife has sent me a couple messages, and it pop up on the screen here, so I'm trying to pay attention here, and it's like something pops up, so I immediately look over, and the one message she sent me, my favorite band is Korn. I'm a huge Korn fan.
Korn.
I have been since I was 15. And I guess Nickelback played Blind by Korn, at least a part of it. So I thought that was, but that kind of lost my focus there for a second on what we were talking about a little bit ago.
Right. I'm sorry. I had that comment really got to me. So
no, you're good, man. I didn't realize you were that tied to Dak here, but stay tuned.
I am high on Dak. I'm very high on Dak, but that's fine.
Stay tuned, Adam. You know what? Prime time, 9:30 p.m.
Wednesday nights, baby.
There we go. Adam Glenn will be checking out them 215
boys.
Converting Adam from an Eagles fan. Eileen says you're ordering your Trey Lance jersey.
I'm not going there. Not yet.
Well, Dave, do you have anything else to add to the show before we sign off here? I get my ass ready for work.
I thought tonight's show was really good. Our condolences to the Wyatt and Terry Funk. And everybody enjoy your week, and us coming to you on Sunday at 7. I hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah. It's like a different time. Thanks for everybody for commenting and checking it out here. We got one more comment here. Paul says he is still waiting on his Rico jersey.
That is correct. Yes. Paul and I actually have a bet for the season. If Rico Dowdle does get a touchdown during the season, he's going to owe me a jersey.
It's gonna be a Trey Lance jersey, probably.
Yeah, right. With my luck.
Good show tonight, Dave. Like Dave said, the showstopper. Dave said,
showstopper.
Condolences to Bray Wyatt's family, Terry Funk's family. Like you know, I'm glad I held it together when I talked about Bray's kids because it really breaks my heart when I see that.
Yeah.
So yeah, condolences to them, especially them. So little not having their dad around anymore. But you know what? The show must go on.
Show must go on.
And you know, the best thing we can do is just keep that memory alive. You know what I mean? Keep talking about their past matches and everything that makes you remember them.
Just remember the memories of these two fine wrestlers. One over 50 years. The other one just didn't get to finish what we thought we were going to see. We love Bray. Bray was great. We love Terry. Terry was, an old school wrestler who will be remembered forever. So enjoy the memories. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
And if you go watch a Bray match or a Terry match, just enjoy it and just remember the good times.
And remember, don't take everything for granted. Like some of the stuff that you get to see on TV and stuff like that, or time with your family. Don't take it for granted. Every moment is precious and special. Whether or not it pisses you off sometimes, that's one less moment that you have in your life with your family or with friends and stuff like that. Whether it's good or bad, cherish every single moment. That's so you never know when the Undertaker is knocking on your door, or Paul Bear. You never know.
This is so true. Oh Lord, here we go.
That was my Paul Bear voice. I don't know. So real quick, last one. Out of the Box Sports Entertainment viewers, send us your picks for Payback.
Yeah, we would love to know. Absolutely.
Either live during the show or send us. If you have to DM us, or throw it on our pages or whatever. Shoot them to us. Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Like, follow, subscribe. Out of the Box Sports Entertainment. For myself and the showstopper, Cowboy.
Yes,
Dave
sir.
Thanks for checking the show out, and we will see you guys next week, right?
Next week? Yep.
All right.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Bye.